This is a discounts allowed daybook question for a credit note sent to Jackson Jones, the customer. Now, in terms of the situation here, if the sales invoice had to put that VAT is on all payments made, then we wouldn't be making a credit note because we wouldn't have needed one. But in this instance, the invoice hasn't got that on it and mustn't have it in there, and so we're having to send a credit note for the provision of a discount allowed in there. So 3 marks for this question in there. Read the question carefully. A little bit of a trick in this question in there. Come back and we'll do it in 2 minutes. Okay, so in terms of the answer, this is a discounts allowed debit question for a credit note sent. So Jackson Jones has taken advantage of a prompt payment discount. We've allowed them a discount there for one, and we haven't put on the invoice that payments are subject to VAT, and therefore avoided the credit note. We're going to have to provide them a credit note, and this is the answer here. So it's plus VAT. So first of all, we set ourselves up a little tail, don't we, with that? And this one here is because it's got plus VAT, it's the net. It was including the VAT, it was the gross. The VAT is going to be 20% of the net, so notify that, and the gross is going to be 1.2 times the net. Calculate those independently, and then add together the net and the VAT and see if it's the same as the gross. That's checking your work, making sure that you don't get anything and you'll miss out those questions first of all. So 84 is the answer. Now this is where it's really tricky and you have to almost read the question going through. What will be the entry in the sales ledger? I don't think that's a fair question, to be fair, because the entry in the sales ledger would be discounts allowed. It will be into the account of Jackson Jones. So you have to sort of look through and sort of see what actually it's sort of saying in the titles here, because it would be accountant, it would be Jackson Jones. The entry in the Jackson Jones ledger would actually be discounts allowed next to it. So if we had a T account in the sales ledger for Jackson Jones, and we pulled it up, it would be Jackson Jones as the T account name, and the account name in there. The entry would be actually discounts allowed. So read the question there. Read the titles about what you've actually been asked here. Good tip for that one there, because the account's name was there, even though the question was actually discounts allowed. So the answer is Jackson Jones because it's going for the account's name, even though the question is technically a little bit wrong. The amounts can be the gross amount. So Jackson Jones is not going to pay £84 now. They don't really care about whether it's the VAT or the net or whatever. That's nothing to do with the amount that's going to be paid in total. So the amount's £84 in there, and it's credit. This is a trade receivables amount, so it's a money in item, it's an asset. It's a reduction in a money in item, so it's a plus times by a minus, so that's a minus, and a minus money is credit. So a reduction in a money in item is a credit, so it will be credit, and that's the answer to this question.